Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We're doing a Chanchi here, WMT, second night of Dharma talk. And on weeknights, that includes Fridays as well, right? We do Dharma talks and we study Master YongHua's teachings. Am I correct? No prologue? Friday night there is? Okay, well, we find out. Let's see.
Yeah, we'll have prologue on Friday night.
We will have prologue on Friday night. So Monday nights and Thursday nights will be Dharma talks. And we learn from Master YongHua, see how he teaches his disciples. And let me tell you, I never really learned from him directly, only heard the translations, and every night was boring because really you listen, you have so many questions, and you try to ask because you only give you 10 minutes or 5 minutes at the end of the talk, and minus translation, so you have half the time allocated to answer questions, and we ask a question, they dance around. They really don't answer you at all, including when second patriarch was around. He did not even answer questions back then. So this is to tell you, my experience has been disappointing. But what's constant is Master YongHua's teachings. And this is excellent, let me tell you. This is the basic foundation for Chan practices. Yes, there's some things in here that he taught, but none of his disciples caught on, including his supposedly successor, and it shows. I'm not going to explain it to you. We're going to explain it to you only individually. When the need arises, what you need, when you become a teacher yourself, then you see why we do certain things. Why, when you come to me with problems, sometimes I answer it to you in certain ways, and I don't explain a whole lot, because that's on purpose. The reason being that I don't want to explain too much so that people can listen in and claim they understand everything, especially his disciples. As far as I'm concerned, they should stick to teaching kangaroos. This is the big league here, boys and girls. I want you to come and take it seriously, because what does it mean, taking it seriously? You have to follow the schedule, no excuses. When I say follow the schedule, look at the schedule, especially you left home people. You're too lax. If I say it says 3 in the morning, you get up at 2:30, and you do your personal hygiene. You come to the Buddha hall and you walk to warm yourself up. And when it says 12 o'clock at night, at noon, when you start the afternoon session, you make sure you go there and stay there. What's the matter with you? You only have one more week. Next week you go up to DTT and you do the Emperor Liang's repentance practices. You only have these many days. That's it. No wonder you are where you are. You're so lax, so lazy. You don't appreciate the opportunity. When I was practicing, no one is guiding me. When I had a problem, the most simple problem, most fundamental problems, no one. I asked all of them. They could not answer. And this is why we spend so much time giving you the chance to ask questions. You cannot ask questions unless you listen to this, unless you meditate. Of course, it's up to you. I'm not forcing you. But when I'm gone, don't blame me for not warning you. You missed out on the chance to ask questions. For our style of training, that's the most important part of the training, to ask questions. Because we really have nothing to teach you until you have a problem. Someday when you become a teacher, you understand what it means. But then, you're weak. What can I do? All right. You don't realize that you need the proper protection and the support until you're able to fend for yourself. Doesn't matter what level you are. You need to get to the level that you can fend for yourself. You can't right now. So that's why you will struggle. That's why this is really a golden opportunity for you. This is for the super privileged, let me tell you, to be able to join this assembly and practice. So don't miss out on the opportunity. Just follow the schedule. That's all. Okay. Start.
令人呢立功、立德和立言。
Inspiring people to create merit, create virtue, and then create words.
在今天呢，也有很多的这个贵宾呢到这来，这个蓝教授也到我们讲堂来了，
Today, there are also many distinguished guests that have come here. This Professor Lan has also arrived at our lecture hall.
还有很久，这个蓝教授也没有来，今天又来了，所以我很高兴的。
This Professor Lan also hasn't come for a very long time. Today he has come again. Therefore, I am very happy.
为什么蓝教授来呢？蓝教授啊，来看看我们这些个用功的人呢，是胖了，是瘦了，是高了，是矮了。
Why has Professor Lan come? Professor Lan has come to take a look at our people who are diligent, to see whether we have become fatter, thinner, taller, or shorter.
是不是修行有一点成就了？还是和以前一样呢？来到这个，这个来看一看。
If we have had a little attainment in our cultivation, or if we are just the same as before, he has come here. He has come to take a look.
所以我们所 所有参加这个禅期的人，鉴于有这种情形，我们更应该要勇猛精进。
So, all of us participating in this Chanqi, since there is such a situation, we should be even more courageous, fierce, and vigorous.
Okay. Let's go back to his teachings. Let's see. What's before that? Okay, so he talked about one of Master Tao An's disciples, and he whatever his name was, and a lot of these virtuous sanghas, virtuous people would come to our world to inspire us. You see, it's funny that how he says things. He says, these great beings, these beings full of wisdom, choose to come to our world to help us create merit and virtue. Okay, that's the core of our practice. And then create words. What words are we talking about? Anyone? Six.
Master, is that Dharma?
Dharma. Okay. All right. Anyone else? Care to elaborate? Yes, sir. One.
Thank you, Master. They leave instructions for us.
Instructions. All right. What else? In the back?
Master, is there a sequence that we have to do great merit, virtue, and then they can teach us?
All right. Very good. Anyone else? That's it? That's all your imagination? Yes, seven.
Mô Phật bạch thầy, ai nào tu đó muốn giải thoát để muốn thành Phật, thành Bồ Tát, mà nhiều khi đó cái nghiệp nó cứ lôi kéo mình trở về hoài đó, thì có khi đó mình chống không có lợi.
Emitofuo, Master, sometimes all of us, we all do wanted to cultivate to become a Buddha and attain liberation, but sometimes there's a lot of time that karma pull us back, and to the point that we cannot even defend ourselves.
How do you feel?
Cảm thấy mình từ nhỏ tới lớn, từ nhỏ tới bây giờ mình ăn tới gần 70-80 tuổi rồi đó. Mà mình làm những cái chuyện đó là kêu bằng làm cái tội lỗi rất là nhiều. Mà bây giờ đó mình sẽ bước vô trong cái Phật, cái đạo Phật đó, thì mình mới thấy cái nghiệp mình quá là nặng. Rồi cái tiền kiếp đó thì mình không có thấy, thầy không biết nó ở nào nữa. Rồi bây giờ mình muốn tu giải thoát đó, thì cũng gặp được thầy giỏi, thầy sư phụ cũng giỏi, mà nhiều khi đó mình cũng hy vọng đó, thầy sư phụ cũng giúp mình được một phần nào, thầy cũng giúp được mình một phần nào. Mô Phật.
Master, I feel that from moment when I was young, when I was born to now, I live my life to 70, 80 years old already. I've done a lot of things, and a lot of them I create karma offenses, pretty much. But now I'm returning to Buddhism. That when I realized that I've been creating a lot of heavy karma and not even know that the previous life in the past, I've been also creating a lot of karma as well. So now even I wanted to cultivate to attain liberation, even though I were able to meet with a good master and also you master, I hope that you will guide me and help me part of it so that I can cultivate.
Very good. How do you feel physically right now? The past 5-6 days or so.
Thấy cũng hơi sáng chút xíu, cũng hơi con người nó cũng giống mà mấy năm nay vậy đó, nhờ con được làm được những cái bài vị đó là cũng giúp được cho con rất là nhiều.
Okay.
Rồi sư phụ nói đó thì bây giờ mình nghe sư phụ để sư phụ nói đó, nó là các con ráng ăn ít một chút, ngủ ít một chút, làm cái chuyện bây giờ cổ quyền thất tổ của mình, cái mấy con đó, thầy đợi các con làm công đức cho cổ quyền thất tổ, thì mình nghe cái tiếng đó thì mình cố gắng để làm, thì có thể nó sẽ được sáng lợi một chút.
Hello, Master. I feel a little bit lighter. So just like many years recently, I've been requesting plaques that can also help my situation a lot better. Also, Master say that, I've heard Master say that you try your best to eat less, sleep less, and create some merit and virtue for your ancestor, so that they can help, you can help them. I've heard that. I try my best, and I think that I can see the light, a little bit of light for myself.
Very good. My point is, I'm trying to ask her if she's aware of it, that she's feeling better since she's been coming regularly every night. And that's it. I know her since the Blue Mountain Temple. How long has it been?
Không có nhớ thầy.
2010, 11 maybe? 15 years?
Ở Đơn Thương Tử tới 15 năm hả? Chắc 20 năm rồi đó. Có sư cô đó, theo sư cô là sư cô mới mở chùa đó. Không biết tới giờ bao nhiêu năm thì con không có nhớ. Mà thầy ở 15 năm thì con cũng có nhận được nhiều cái rất là tin tưởng Ngài Hòa Thượng Tiên Hóa, mới tin tưởng được thầy. Mô Phật.
Okay. My point being that you may not be sensitive enough. Her level, she has Kung Fu, so she's aware a lot faster. But these cultivation events, every single thing you do will help improve your conditions. Okay, it's a fundamental. It cannot do anything unless your body gives you a chance. Okay, and so invariably, if you participate in these qis, and these, especially the qis are much easier for you to see, because if you do it one day and the next day, and then naturally you see the accumulation effect. Whereas so it's a lot more visible for you. I'm trying to tell you that your participation, even in her case, and her health is not that great. I see her deteriorate for 5-6 years now, and she's keeps on giving excuses. She says, I'm too old, I can't walk anymore, I'm too tired, I'm too lazy, and so forth. And of course, that's what she wishes. We'll never go against her wishes. But when you feel you need a boost in the arm, that's when I recommend you come to the temple. Okay, and these events here will rejuvenate you. Chan, give you a boost in the arm. When you practice it every day, you maintain your health. You go to these qis and these cultivation events, you actually are improving your health. The harder you work, the healthier you become. And that's a foundation. There's no way for you to do more unless your body allows you to. Okay? And so anyway, so what yes, 8.
Making a vow.
Making vow, yes, all those things. In general, okay, when you become gooder, that's how you create merit and virtues. Okay? And if you follow the Mahayana teachings, and your good no advisor's teachings, you create more virtue than you were to try to figure out yourself. Okay? And in doing that, you are creating words. What are words? Words are things that are said by you, by other people, the things you read, things you hear, things you watch, because this is how Mahayana is spread, by words. People learn from listening. And so your actions, by creating merit and virtue, speak very loudly of what it's like to be gooder. Okay? And if you're at a more advanced level, and then you speak the Dharma, and you add to the Dharma. That's I challenge you monks and nuns, aspiring monks and nuns. I think we should raise the standards. Don't worry so much about being famous and building temples and so forth, and having disciples and having more money, which, well, it never hurts, in my humble opinion. But we follow the examples of the Buddhas and the great good no advisors like Master YongHua. One of the most important things they did was to teach the Dharma. The Buddhas spent 50 years speaking the Dharma, and Master YongHua spent 30 years speaking the Dharma here. Okay, either through how he lived his life, through his actually spoken words. All those are creating words. All right. Okay. And today, and the next section you talked about is he was at this is at Gold Mountain in San Francisco. I think it's the older location, not the current one, and they had relations somehow with this Professor Lan here, Lan, and he sent his students to come and study Buddhism or learn about Buddhism from Master YongHua, from attending these things. And this is something we should be doing too. Meaning that your English needs to be polished enough to be able to speak Dharma in English. Okay, but this professor has been sending his students to his temple, and now he checked in. That time he checked in has been around for a long time, and so Master YongHua is very happy. So these words are very kind words. They're hospitable words. They're words of welcome, that you are important, and so forth. That's very Asian, okay? I have to learn that. Why has he come? Professor Lion has looked at our people and whether they become fatter, thinner, taller, or shorter. So he come here to take a look. As part of it is they're curious, is they check in occasionally to see how far along you have, and it's natural. As I said, it's not just your physical health, but also your mental health. You not only healthier physically, but you're also healthier mentally, meaning that you are, to put it simply for you, a kinder and more compassionate person. Okay, so that's why he came to take a look, according to Master YongHua, and therefore to not miss out the opportunity of the Chanchi here, you should be more brave, fiercer, and more vigorous. Okay. More vigorous. Don't worry about resting so much. Okay, this is not a regular time during your life when you're tired, you rest. You're vigorous because you follow the schedule in spite of all the distractions, and we're not going to judge you. This is, you don't have to worry about how people would think of you. This is a special time, and your peers, if you're afraid that they're going to approve of you or disapprove of you, don't worry about it. This is everyone for himself or herself, including when you go to lunch. Time to eat is, what is it? We end at 10:40, right? Takes you about 5 minutes, 10 minutes to go to the restroom and walk to the dining hall. So 10:50, you go and you pick up things and eat. You eat. And then you're done, okay? And you should try to eat less. It helps, trust me, with your Chan meditation. And you have plenty of chances to catch up after this, okay? And then if you try to eat a little bit less than before, then when you sit at 12 o'clock at noontime, you won't be as sleepy. Okay, and you like yourself better. I assure you, you feel lighter. Okay, so that's vigor. Don't rest so much. Don't worry about getting enough rest. Fierce. Fierce meaning don't back down just because they come and give you a hard time. Stand your ground. Okay? Don't yield. Okay? Don't be, especially you, Koreans, don't be so worried about being approved and the people disapprove of you. In the US, in my temple, we don't give a darn whether people approve of you or not. Especially in Chanchi, you worry about approving yourself. Worry about someone who has wisdom approving of you. Don't worry about your peers. Could be more courageous. Courageous because you've encountered states where they're scary, because the ghosts and your demons will come and harass you and discourage you. Oh, don't be afraid, okay? Confront your fears. That's what he says. That's what participating in Chanchi entails. We all have to do that, by the way, not just you, everyone. All right, next section. The reason I don't want you to worry about what others think is because they have no idea about what we're doing here and your personal struggles. Okay, and if you're advanced enough, if you have enough blessings, don't worry about what others think or what you believe is best for you. You only have to follow whoever you think is your good knowing advisor, his or her instructions. That's all. This is not a time for you to say, I know best what's best for me. If you know what's best for you, you shouldn't be coming here. You come here because you need help. Let's face it. You need help to provide a roof over you. You need help to give you food so that you don't have to worry about it. Okay? You need help because you're protected. You need help because you need to be told how to solve your problems, your obstructions, your difficulties through these Q&As. Okay, next section.
This is the beginning of the 9th week of our Chan session.
9 weeks.
Unawares and unknowing.
I understand what that one said.
We've already sat through 8 weeks. 8 weeks have gone by.
Did you want to translate it into Chinese? Okay.
We want to take care in this Chan session that we not just have only the name Chan session. We have to really do the work. Work hard. People who haven't been working should imitate the people who are working. And the people who are working hard have to work even harder. We can't be lazy for even 1 second. Now, this Chan session is 14 weeks long, so we've already passed through more than half of it. Every day here, the people who work get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and work hard until midnight with no time to rest. We work all that time. And in this, such an intensive session, if people can't have success, well, there's no excuse for it. Now in the Buddhist lecture hall in the Sino-American Buddhist Association, everyone is very busy. The people who have left home are busy. The people who are at home are busy too. There are people who do nothing but sit in meditation and work at that day and night. And there are people who walk the bodhisattva way and work at our new building. They do hard physical labor, like Gua Chen and Gua Hu, Gua Mang, and also Gua Yu. They work very hard over there. They do very bitter work. very hard work.
I'm not clear of the context of this, so we can just go through and Master can let me know when you would like to stop it.
Okay.
But the opportunity for them to do that is extremely rare, something you could only meet up with in 100,000, 10,000 kalpas, a chance to practice the bodhisattva way in this way, and a chance to establish merit and establish virtue and establish words. Today there are also, here at this lecture, there are many guests, many honorable, distinguished guests, and among them is Professor Lancaster, whom we haven't seen for a long time, but he came today. Hasn't been here in a long time. And he came today to check us out. He came to see if we were fat or thin, to see if maybe in all our hard work if we'd had success or not. So, because of this, all of us here who are participating should be even more vigorous and go forward.
Okay, so let me.
I'm guessing it's the translation of Master Shunhua's talk.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It's kind of interesting because because somehow it got in here, and it helped me realize how difficult it was for Master Shunhua to try to teach Americans when he couldn't speak English. Had to depend on these translators. And so he spoke Dharma, and these people would learn. I think they used to stay at his place full time for like months during the summer vacations. These college students. And he would teach them everything. He would cook for them. They would get up at 4 or 5 in the morning to do ceremonies and do chantis, whatever. And they would have classes, have calligraphy, have lectures, and so forth. But this particular case here, they're doing a cheese, and so he trained these people. He taught them Chinese, and so that's why these people were able to translate his teachings. Okay, and I'm really impressed with the young people who were enamored with Master Shunhua. It's so impressive. Okay, it's like when you meet with people and you feel good about that person, and you feel better about yourself. And this is what happens when you translate. You cultivate. Excuse me. When you cultivate, you become gooder. And that positive energy that you radiate makes people feel comfortable, and they want to hang around you. Okay. If you're more sensitive, they feel more peaceful, and so forth. Okay, and so this is a 9th week of the chant session. They used to do 14 sessions for 14 weeks, and they told people you have to work harder. Okay, and this is what the chanty is about. You push yourself a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. That's the spirit, okay? That's what's about being courageous, fiercer, and more vigorous. That's what it's about. You push yourself. And don't be lazy, because Especially in our times, we are a lot more self-indulgent. And part of self-indulgence is to be lazy. Okay? And they're doing 14 weeks long. So 14 weeks, that's about 100 days. Okay, and this is a tradition of the Chinese. They would do 100 days of Chan, and it's very grueling, and it's not many people were able to keep up with it. Even in China, back then, it's very difficult to find people who can do 14 weeks in a row. Nowadays in the U.S. it's virtually impossible. And so actually his disciples, a few people did 14 weeks long. Okay, only a handful of people were able to do that in their history. Okay, why are they doing it? They are able to do it. And they did it because it feels great. You people who enjoy talking and socializing with each other during the 4Gs and the 1Gs, you should experience this. Give it a shot. Okay, just meditate. And so you experience the first 2 weeks is about socializing and bonding with people and kindness and compassion and learning, okay? But for the last 2 weeks of the summer Qis, experience the bliss of emptiness so that you have the best of both worlds. That's the middle way. The Chinese, they do 14 weeks long is because they want you to go into the emptiness side. Okay? And you should experience it. It's wonderful. This is, if you are able to experience this 14 weeks long, you probably won't be as tempted by worldly things anymore. Okay? See, to get up at 3 o'clock and meditate, cultivate until midnight. No time to rest. Nowadays, we do give you an hour and a half, hour and 20 minutes of rest. Should we take it away? Hello? Anyone listening? It works all the time. Okay? And amazingly, he found people who were willing to do it. They liked it. Okay? They're tough. These young people, newcomers to Buddhism, very special kids. And unfortunately, they didn't stick around very long, did they? Intensive session, people can't access, no excuse for it. Okay, and this is low-level people. I'm not worried about what he says, what he tells them. Now, from busy people are at home busy too. People doing meditation all day and night. People work on our building. So he was buying. This is an old building. They gave him an old building. He rented rooms to people to support himself, and then he have a small area where he would teach people. And then they finally were able to buy a old mattress factory, and they had to tear out. It's like a tear down. They have tear out the walls and do everything. And so that's what he's talking about, the bodhisattva way, meaning helping others. Okay? And this is what he had to go through the process of introducing these concepts to the Westerners. Okay, you hear the voice of the translator. She's not Asian. Okay, and they do hard physical labor, and you can tell that it's a Westerner because she pronounced the inflection points wrong. Okay, 我尖，我护，我慢，and so forth. Okay, and so there are people who also cultivate by helping out in the building. They are able to do that. So the Chanchi there, okay, he demonstrates here that you can either sit here and cultivate all day, or you can help out. Okay, you do work so that others can sit and meditate. Especially if you're new and you struggle, you can't keep up with it. Okay, for whatever the reasons, it's too much for you. Get up and go and work. And that's a Chanchi too. Opportunity for them extremely rare. Okay, 100,000 ways to practice the bodhisattva way. Okay, what he's referring to is to be able for these people to be able to help out with the way place that he was setting up, a Mahayana way place. The first Mahayana, true Mahayana way place is in San Francisco. How many people were able to help out? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a very rare opportunity. Okay, and what he says is very, very, very true. It's extremely, extremely rare. 稀有, okay, it's extremely, extremely difficult for you to encounter it. Okay, the opportunity to encounter this type of way place to propagate Mahayana, because Mahayana really was non-existent until he came around, and he propagated Mahayana, and so he did something revolutionary. It's extremely difficult to do with no support whatsoever. Okay, he's really a pioneer. And practice the bodhisattva way. The way here is the bodhisattva way. The jargon here says helping others. In particular here, helping the temple. Okay? So he has to teach them these concepts to the Westerners. So the chance to establish merit, okay? Do something to help others. Virtue, okay? Merit and virtue. Virtue, again, taking losses, establishing words. Probably here, and now that I see the context, probably help establish Mahayana. Help him establish Mahayana in the West. That's what it means here. Okay? So, the point here is that do not delude yourself to thinking you're that important, that you are so much, you have so much wisdom, you know so much. You really don't know that much. So you establish words by helping Master YongHua at the time, those people get his work done. Okay? And he needed another way place to start teaching so that more people could come and so forth. At the time he's very poor, and for those people who also were not that well off, to take the time off, take vacation, or not get paid. For some of them are like contractors or whatever, to sacrifice that to help him save having to pay for, let's say, drywalls, electrical work, and so forth, okay, may not be that much in absolute terms, but it's gigantic in terms of the multiplier, because you're helping Master Xuanhua. They were helping Master Xuanhua when he needed it. Okay, and later people would come and give him a check for $100,000, $2 million. And that's what the Chinese do, or Asian people do with him once he's been established. I think that kind of money was not as impactful as the little bit of money that these 4 people were able to help him save. Okay? And so in Buddhism, you never worry about it in terms of absolute numbers, but it's in your heart. They saw this old monk and who's a good person and who needs help, who needed help, so they helped. So that's a very rare opportunity. Okay. There are many guests, honorable, distinguished guests, and very polite, Professor Lancaster, and so forth, and so forth, and so forth. Okay, next section.
是说今天呢，这个新的道场去洒净。那么在昨天已经开始洒净。
It is said that today they want to purify the new way place. The purification already started yesterday. And we have a note on the purification ritual, meaning spraying fragrant water to purify things. It refers to the Dharma of using hand gestures and dharanis to bless fragrant water and spray the water to clean up the way place and offerings. Nowadays, it refers to the ceremony of using purified water to spray over the way place to establish the boundary and purify before the Dharma assemblies of ordaining, Buddha name-chanting retreat, and repentance.
这个洒净洒的水也太多了，所以今天呢，那个洒净水太多了，还没有干。咱们就在这儿啊，把这个时间呢消磨了它。等一等。
Too much water was sprayed during the purification. Today, there's too much purification water. It hasn't dried up yet. So let's spend time here and wait a bit for it to dry.
有人欢喜去到那边去的呢，也可以。不过那边太邋遢。
If anyone prefers to go over there, that's also okay. However, it's very messy over there.
那么等啊，这个用这个机器洒净，洒完了，咱们再用这个佛法来洒净。这是双关齐下。
So we'll wait for the machine to finish the purification. Then we will use the Buddha Dharma to do the purification. This is a two-pronged approach.
佛法不离世间法。
Okay. Next section. Okay, let's go over the prior section. Okay. So they finish remodeling the place, probably very shabby looking, a lot worse than our Buddha hall, I assure you. Okay. And no one get hurt. Construction, you're going to get hurt. You step on rusty nails and so forth. But no one got hurt, so they got some protection there. So they went to purify the new building. And the purify here is like the same Dharma we use when we go to funeral homes, when we start the 4Gs and some assemblies, and we do the purification, where we conduct a short ceremony, we walk around and shake the little twig there to spread the great compassion water in the pure vase. So that's what we do. And the process there is designed to create a boundary for you to be in there and cultivate in peace. So that's part of the protection that I mentioned earlier. We need to do that, and this is why we need to be cognizant of the fact that we owe the Dharma protectors for their protection. The protectors usually are stronger than you. Okay, all of us, they're stronger than us, and that's why they're here. Because if they're not as strong as you are, then they can't protect you. If they're not stronger than your karmic obstructions, they can't help you. Okay, and you cannot stay here. You cannot cultivate. Okay, you run away. Okay, and so the purification is designed to create that area there where you'll be safe. Within this area, you'll be safe to practice. Okay? And which reminds me of what I learned in precept school in Taiwan. It's a different process where when you establish a way place, you actually don't do it purification. I think this is where the Dharma is different. Much as sure Dharma from China, I learned the Dharma from Taiwan, where they actually picked it up from the Vinaya. Okay, and when they said this is how it's done, has always been done this way. When you go establish a way place, you need to you set up boundaries. Okay, where in that process you need about 4 monks, not nuns, has to be monks. Okay, and this is where the monks have a thing that important, because it is said in Buddhism, any temple that has 4 monks, again, not nuns like you, okay, that's where the Buddha Dharma resides, is available. Because in order to create boundaries for a temple, you need 4 monks to go through that process. Okay, where there's a Dharma, and they walk around, they do things to establish a boundary. So we bring in the Dharma protectors, the Eightfold Division protectors will come in, and they will protect the way place. Okay, and that's That's a different process from the Sa Jing here that he transmit to my generation. Okay, now, so what's the difference? Difference is that the other one is permanent. Okay, whereas when you do the set of boundaries for a way place, it's permanent. Okay, whereas this purification here is only temporary, only for the duration of the event. So it's a Chanchi, and then it's only for the Chanchi, Fochi, and so forth. So that's what his disciples are doing typically. Before they do a Fochi like this, they would, if it starts on Saturday morning or Sunday morning, then they would do the purification Friday night, okay, the night before. And so within this area here, anyone can come in and cultivate. You don't behave, you don't follow the rules, you'll be thrown out. Okay? So that's what this is about. And this is a reminder, again, that's a Dharma there where the Buddha taught his Sangha how to set up way places properly. Okay? And so the Taiwanese, where I went to learn, they still do it. According to the Vinaya, they use these texts from the Tripitaka. So they study those texts and then they copy it and then they transmit to each other. I went to Nanputo in Taichung, which is about 2.5 hours on the train, by train, from Taipei, and was founded by a second stage Arhat, and he founded the temple, and they would study the Vinaya. Okay, in Taiwan is very special because the Taiwanese Buddhists are very devout. They take their support of the temple very, very seriously. And so that's why when these they find monks like that, I forgot his name, who set up the temple only to study Vinaya, they would come and support. They don't expect them to do anything at all. So that's why the Taiwanese have a lot of blessings. That's why they're doing very well. Economy-wise, and we're doing very well for a long, long time. And don't know that many monks there anymore. But they also used to have enlightened monks in Taiwan. And extremely helpful. All right. Yes, 8.
Thank you, Master. So my takeaway is that the purification ritual is to make the way, place, or location amenable to the Dharma protectors to patrol and make it safe for the cultivators.
Yes. And that's what people who meditate or recite the Buddha's name don't realize. You need that proper protection. Otherwise, you are less likely to make progress. Because they don't simply, it's very subtle when they want to, they want to cause problems for you. It's not always to make you run away, but sometimes it's to make you afflicted. Okay, and you being an afflicted person sticking around causes more problems for others if they don't know how to help everyone. Okay? And so that's some aspects of cultivation there. It's a very complicated thing because when you cultivate, you're dealing with invisible forces, in particular in forces who are a lot stronger than you. And therefore, you need some help. Just to be able to come and do it. And let alone, never mind about making progress, even different kind of animal. All right. It's a lot more involved than you think. It's not as simple as you find a place and you open and you put on a sign that says, this is a temple. It's a lot more going on than that. Okay. And it says they did it wrong. I think they went to purify it. Probably some of his early monks and nuns went to purify it, and they probably pour water instead of spreading the water through a twig. So it's too wet, hasn't dried up yet, so he has to wait. I don't want to go there. It's kind of messy, all that wet stuff. And so they need to probably let it dry, and then they I guess he'll take care of it. Okay, next section. Any questions? Okay, just going back in time to see what they had to do to get Mahayana and Chan started. Okay, continue please.
用这个机器来先洒净呢，然后再借着佛法来洒净，这是世法、出世法都有了。
First, use the machine for purification, and then use the Buddha Dharma for purification. This is to say, worldly Dharma and transcendental Dharma both exist.
佛法在世间，不离世间脚。 离世逆菩提，入求兔角。
The Buddha Dharma is here in the world. Enlightenment is not apart from the world. To search for Bodhi apart from the world is like looking for a hare with horns.
这是这个六祖大师说的。咱们现在这个洒净也是这样，凡不离圣，圣不离凡。
This is what the great master, the sixth patriarch, said. Now, our purification is just like this. The worldly is not apart from the sagely, and the sagely is not apart from the worldly.
观音菩萨用甘露水来给我们洒净，咱们现在这个阿罗汉就先用这个恒河里头的这个水，来先洒一遍。
Guanyin Bodhisattva uses sweet dew to purify for us. This Arhat will first use the water from the Ganges River to first purify once.
那么昨天我看见那几个人在那洒净洒的，把自己的 身上呢变成不干净，结果洒完净都要去拜了。
So yesterday, I saw those several people over there doing the purification. While sprinkling, they themselves became dirty. As a result, after finishing purification, they all had to take a bath.
Yeah, that's it. Next section, thank you. Is it where we started? No. So he says, the Buddha Dharma is not apart from worldly dharmas. And so both worldly dharma and transcendental dharma exist. So that's he's justifying why he sent these people over there to do purification. They messed up, and now he uses Buddha Dharma to complete the work. Okay, it takes both, and he quotes a 6th patriarch. This is who says the Buddha Dharma is in the world. It's not here. There's no need for here. Okay? The Buddha Dharma is in the world. Here is not necessary. Okay? Here introduces something, a concept that's distracting. Very simple. This is when you guys translate in Korean into Vietnam into whatever. Okay? You should do it. Do it without introducing anything. Okay, there's no here. 在实践, the Dharma is in the world, is here, is repetition. Okay, 无理实践, 见, me, right? This is what is Chinese character?
It's 觉.
Oh, 觉.
It's a simplified character.
Okay, thank you. So, and now, 不离实践, okay, this is when we can change a little bit, improve the translation a little bit for the future generations. I know I explained the 6th Patriarch Sutra already, and we use their text, and too bad, but we could enhance the translation a lot better for your generation. If I had time to do it again, but I don't have time. I'm not interested. No interest there. Okay, you guys, I think you guys are strong enough, but unfortunately, your English and your Chinese are not, the combination is not strong enough. So that's why, tough luck. Someone has to pay me so that I can do the translation. And then all the expenses are paid. Okay. 不离是见觉. I guess it's not bad. Enlightenment is not apart from the world. Okay, and that's fine. To search for Bodhi apart from the world is like looking for a hare with a horn. Okay. It's not bad, I guess. I take it back. Okay, except for this thing here. Yeah, the here there. It's not necessary. It's pretty good. Overall, it's pretty good. Okay. Now, so what he's referring to, and he explains it. He says that this is a quote from the 6th Patriarch. Okay, and now to come to think of it, I don't know who the 6th Patriarch was talking to and what kind of environment. Okay, but anyway, he says, the worldly is not apart from the sagely is not apart from the worldly. Okay, that's what the purification is about. I don't think they know what he's talking about. Okay, I don't know what he's trying to tell them there. Okay, how does it go from purification to enlightenment or to sagely? Anyway, so he has his reasons, I guess. And then another section I don't understand, he says, when you use sweet dew to purify for us, okay, so that we use the Dharma there when we do the purification. But now, this Arhat will first use the water against the river to purify once. I have no idea what he's talking about. Okay, he's certainly no Arhat. Okay, and his Dharma, you don't need the Ganges River to do it. Okay. Actually, in his Dharma, he doesn't even need the water to purify it. All right? So many Dharmas you can do to set up the boundaries. All right, so I don't know what he's referring to. And he saw several people over there doing purification, and probably some level people, disciples he had already, and they are first time they did it, so they didn't do it right. It got dirty, and they had to take a bath. Okay, so that's what it is. Okay, let's go back to Master Shinwa. Why does it go from enlightenment is not apart from the world, and search for Bodhi apart from the world, looking by air with horns? Again, I don't know what he's talking about, who he's addressing. So he's teaching some of the disciples there, and looking at his teaching here, the level is not that very good. Okay, not that advanced yet. So that's why he spoke that way. He's really nothing, no profound Dharma, either in Chan or in the certain teaching of the sixth patriarch at all. So let me tell you a little bit about this comment here. It's a kind of a very famous teaching from the sixth patriarch. He says, the Buddha Dharma can be found in the world, here in the world. What is he referring to? Is he referring to the Buddhology department of universities? Okay, this is the sixth patriarch teaching. So many of his disciples who were able to be there for the sixth patriarch to say something to them. Okay, those people are extraordinary. I'm talking about not bodhisattva, I'm talking about mahasattvas. Okay, and so he says, and high-level bodhisattvas, not all mahasattvas. But the Buddha Dharma is in the world. He says here that the sixth patriarch is saying that now, if you're at the level where you are enlightened, that you have some wisdom, then you don't need to run away from the world in order to cultivate. It's right here. It's right at the gelato shop, at the pizza shop, at your barber shop. That's where LeBron James hangs out, you know. In a baseball park. Okay, you don't need to run away because you really have wisdom. You look at it and you say, that's what it's about. This is a level of a Mahasattva, the Buddha Dharmas in the world. So he's teaching, he's addressing those people the sixth patriarch had a lot of bodhisattvas in his assembly. This is the level that Master YongHua taught his disciples. Similar thing, okay. That another thing that Master YongHua teaches is that that the Chinese like to teach as well is, I see the Dharma everywhere I look. It's the same concept. And that's the Mahasattva level. Is not for you. Okay, so I'm surprised why he would even bring it up. There's no need to go from here to this level where it says the world is not a part of sage, sage is not a part of the world. I don't think it pertains to his students. Okay, I just want you to know that wisdom has many, many levels. Okay, for his students' level, there's no point in talking about this. Okay, but he may have brought up the concept to introduce Master Huineng and Sixth Patriarch to them. That's probably the major reason. But the teaching there, he only had to, if he wanted to do that, he only had to say, for you in the future, you need to speak the Dharma. Is that, we have this very famous, very wise Chinese monk, very short like me, probably a bit shorter than me, and he's a sixth patriarch. His name is Huineng, and he says, if you have wisdom, then when your level of wisdom is high enough, you don't need to run away from the world anymore. That's what it means. I'm addressing his disciples. And many of you who think you're enlightened, who believe you're enlightened, you've been certified, and you still feel you still need to run away from the world in order to practice, then your wisdom is not good enough yet. Go seek a good knowing advisor. If you're a Sunim, you're a nun, you're a monk, you are whatever, a lay person, okay? And you feel that you need to run away from the world to find the teachings, then you will not be able to encounter the advanced teachings. Just for your reference, okay? I don't expect you to understand, okay? Enlightenment is not apart from the world. You, like many of you, attain enlightenment by being in society. You don't need to isolate yourself. What does it tell you? It tells you that it's better, it's implied here, it's better to stay put and not isolate yourself. Does it make sense? Not to run away from it, because that's what happens to the Chinese and to the Vietnamese and the Sri Lankans and to the Thai people and to the non-Buddhist practitioners. They said, I'm better than you, so I'm going to isolate myself because you create too much noise and you disrupt my practice. So I'm going to distance. Oh, hey, welcome, Shorty. God, I didn't notice. This woman is good. I don't even notice her. That's how I gauge you, by the way. If I notice you or not. Good. All right. Keep it up. I know you're suffering a lot. That funny? So enlightenment is not part of the world, meaning that you don't need to go away and isolate yourself, okay? And let's say where fewer people and life is more predictable, things are supposed to happen the ways they're supposed to happen, like in a temple. It's not that. It's not how you should cultivate. And yet, the yogi order and these people, they isolate themselves and they said, and you not peer, and including the Chinese and the Thai and the Vietnamese and so forth, because they want to convey this image, build this image that they are purer than us. And again, Master Huineng's teaching is that if that's what you do, you will not find the enlightenment that you're supposed to find in the world, which is, quotes, more advanced. Shh. And that's what I want to emphasize. And the next part is for low-level people. He says, if you low-level people, if you think that you can look for bodhi or enlightenment or attain wisdom by isolating yourself from the noise, from other people who are not as pure as you, who don't follow rules and so forth, okay? And you think you can, by isolating yourself, that's this section here, apart from the world, meaning that distance yourself from the noise, from the commotion, from the afflictions, from the temptations, and so forth, okay? In order to seek wisdom, okay, it's like looking for something that you cannot find. It's very, very profound. And this is where the Hinayana cannot understand. They can't. And I feel that someday maybe we have to bring this understanding to Japan. I begin to appreciate Japanese culture. Okay? This thing, you separate yourself and distance yourself, put a wall between you and others, put yourself on a pedestal. That's old technology. You're obsolete. Okay? This is why you no longer are able to survive in today's times, modern times. Because you need to distance yourself from the world. Okay? And that's why these people will die. That's. Okay, so that's what he says. So you notice it sounds like the sixth patriarch is repeating himself, but actually, look at that. When the sixth patriarch teaches, it sounds like he's repeating himself. Master YongHua uses two sentences, same sentences. Okay, so it sounds like he's repeating himself, saying the exact same thing. Because I saw that when I was asked to help translate into English from Vietnamese, from whatever, okay? And I found a lot of repetition like that. And that's the difference between Master YongHua style and Sixth Patriarch style. Because I got confirmation here, right here. Because as I explained to you, this sentence here, okay, is for the top level disciples of his. And then And then this one here is for the lower levels. It sounds like it's the same thing, but actually it's different. Different meanings. This is, I know you don't know or you don't understand quite, you can't quite get it. I'm trying to tell you that Buddhist teachings is so multi-layered, okay, that because you need to help so many levels that you need to accommodate them all. And what's amazing to me is how Master Huineng did it with 2 sentences. 3 sentences. One is for everyone. The first one is for everyone, okay? And the second one is for the advanced one. Third one is for the lower level. And it's not available in Hinayana teachings. It sounds very simple. This is why the 6 Patriarch Sutra is so popular. People love to study it. And you read this thing, and people would quote this, but they don't understand that it really has a different purpose. It's kind of cool. Okay? All right. I think time is up, unless you have any questions. Tonight, there's very few questions, huh? Thank you. One.
Hi, Master. For the quote from 6-page chart, like how we can apply at the low-level cultivator, is it that how we should not avoid conflict in daily life? Not run away from stressful situation?
Good question. You Western educated people, you always ask tough questions. Let me think. What's so funny? I heard that. Jesus. My point here, I'm glad you pointed it out, because sometimes I cannot go very far on purpose. This is for everyone, Buddha, Dharma, in the world, okay? We're not abandoning you. Next level here, enlightenment, is not apart from where he's addressing people who are enlightened level, high level, enlightened lower level, okay? How does it apply to us? How can we use this information? I just alluded to it already. If you find people who isolate themselves, distance themselves, put themselves on a pedestal, okay, that separate from you, okay, then what level do you think they are? None of the above. They don't have any real wisdom. And those are the people you don't want to get directions from. Does it help? I looked for teachers, and I couldn't find them. So there's so many, how can you tell? What I learned is that I learned who not to follow by elimination. So I had to find things to help me determine that who you should stay away from. So if you want to go to this high level of a good no advisor, okay, you know what not to look for. Okay, good question. Thank you. Go first.
Emitofuo, Master. I heard that Master YongHua mentioned that those construction workers, the 4 Go disciples who helped renovated the new way place, that they will get tremendously blessing, and then is they doing the bodhisattva's work. Is that necessary to bring up that very high profiles words? Because I think recently in the Vietnamese temple and other way place, if you come over and you help out a little bit here, a little bit there, they keep calling you, bodhisattva's work and all that, and sometimes it have backfire instead of a motivator. The lay people to do the work, because they need blessing to cultivate it. But if you keep telling them that you are doing bodhisattva's work, and then it may make them feel more egoistic, and then that's not the purpose.
These Republicans, I mean. It's happening everywhere, not just Vietnamese temples. It is Taiwanese temples. I'm sure Chinese temples and so forth. All sorts of temples, because there's a lot of competition right now in our field. Everyone can rent a house and then put on a sign, say, "Hi, now you can come to my temple." Okay, so it's very, very, very competitive, and people get confused. There's a lot of competition for Buddhist disciples, especially here in California. So many temples, because the monks and nuns love to come to California. Okay, what they don't realize, by the way, folks, okay, is that if you go to lesser-known states, they treat you much better. The Buddhist disciples, they give you cars, they give you money to go to school, okay, and to go get a degree and so forth. Here in California, we just have the opposite case, where all the monks and nuns are chasing after disciples, because the disciples are saying, the monks and nuns, they don't like each other, they don't get along, so when they have a chance, they would get a house and open a temple, one sangha per temple, okay? And that's what they do. So everyone is chasing after Buddhist disciples, especially in the Vietnam temple and so forth. And so there's a problem there. And so even in Taiwan, I notice a lot of these monks and nuns who cannot teach people how to cultivate, who have no samadhi power at all. They have to do this in order to survive, okay? Now, and so it's common practice. It's okay, it's no need to criticize them. We all need to find a way to survive. Okay, and you may disagree with them, but I feel that in our world, if you have a Buddha statue, Buddha image for people to come and bow and make offerings to, you deserve to open a temple, as far as I'm concerned, because you're giving living beings a chance to plant blessings with Buddhism, which will benefit them greatly, a lot more than you can ever imagine. Even with Hinayana, even with impure monks, it doesn't matter. If you open a way place and find ways to bring them in and to offer, or, hey, Buddha, how are you? What's up, dude? That kind of thing. It's still extremely beneficial for all those people. So I have no problem with it. Okay? The question is about you yourself. It's not about right and wrong. You yourself, ask yourself, if you are a monk or nun, first of all, and you feel that you need to kiss up to the disciples in order for your own survival, then I ask you, then why are you doing this? It goes back to what I've been talking about recently, self-respect, self-esteem. Are you so desperate you need to kiss up people so that they can help you pay for utilities and your car insurance? If that's the case, go get a job, man. Have some pride. I remember some Vietnamese monks, my Vietnamese master, they came here from Vietnam as a monk, and they couldn't speak English. This is when this is a long time ago, my generation, 25 years ago, 30 years ago, and they came from Vietnam because they were able to get out of Vietnam and on a boat, and they made it. Okay, they survived the boat ride, and they got here. They couldn't speak English, had no education, and the Vietnamese temples, they don't get any support. Everyone has to take care of their rent, take care of their clothes, take care of their daily needs, transportation, insurance, you name it. Okay, so everyone is struggling. And the Vietnamese disciples say, what did you do for me to make you an offering to you? Okay, and it's very tough. So what I remember, these monks at my master's temples, they have a seniority in a Vietnamese Sangha. And yet, you know what they did? I'm very impressed with these people. They went and cut grass, mow grass, okay, to pay for their daily expenses. And then they went to community colleges. And back then, the U.S. government was very, very generous. They gave them scholarships, gave them grants, they gave them food stamps or whatever. Okay, and that's how they survived. Okay, and eventually they got a degree, and most of them became social workers. So they could support themselves. So many of the Vietnamese monks that I know would go to work as a social worker, buy a nice car, and pay for the mortgage of the house that they bought for the temple. And then on the weekends or something, they speak Dharma for them. Okay, and so my point is that I have tremendous respect for those people. They're doing it wrong, but I still have deep respect for them. They really believe in what they do, and they have the pride to say, hey man, I'm not going to beg you because I'm a monk. You don't have to support me. I will take care of myself. That I respect. And that's what I'm talking about. There's no need for you in your station in life and your stature to have to beg for people to support you. Okay? And that's why I love my master's Dharma, in that we need to provide for you, we need to protect you, we need to help you until you're able to take care of yourself. And that's what my master's disciples did to me in order to kill my career. They cut off all the support that I could possibly get. My master came to our country to set up such a system to help people cultivate. And that's what I'm very grateful for, because after that, after all the suffering and the difficulties, I finally understood that I lucked out because I was shut out from the system my master created, but I was lucky enough to have a bodhisattva support me so that I could do my practice. And that's why I understand the importance of supporting your cultivation so that you cannot be corrupted. Because let me tell you, it's so easy to get corrupted because you need to pay for your toothpaste, okay? Your toothbrushes. It's very tough. It's not that easy, folks. Okay? So don't be so hard on these people. They're trying. That's all I ask of you. All of you Buddhist disciples, don't judge those monks and nuns. Okay? Number two, on the other hand, stop blaming the monks and nuns. They're trying their best. Okay? This is all they got. But it's about, I feel, it's about the disciples who come to the temple and who expect that to happen. Is that, are you going to treat me well? Are you going to give me special consideration for me to come to you? Okay? Those are the disciples that they sort of deserve each other. That they want to be treated like a bodhisattva, so they come to a place where the monks and nuns look at them like a bodhisattva. Okay? We don't. They look at you like idiots. They need help. Okay? And so it's okay. It's perfectly okay. I don't mean to criticize them, those lay people. They have their own reasons, and life is hard and so forth. They have their own rationales for being who they are. Okay, we will not exclude them, but it's no point in trying to criticize them or exclude them and feel we're better than them, because then we're making a mistake. The Buddha Dharma is not beyond. The Buddha Dharma is with them as well. Okay, so right now we are very lucky we have you. Okay. Who are very special, almost like bodhisattvas, I would say. So we don't have this kind of pressure. But in the future, the flip side of it is that I don't want you to reject these people either, say you don't deserve to come to our temple. No, we open the doors to everyone and let them pick and choose. It's very important for them to come. This is why we do silly things like spend money on New Year's Day to do lion dance and so forth. For me, when I was practicing from my Chinese master's style, I said, that's kind of impure, Why do we use agitation and noise and, dum, 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 and the kids are, screaming and, it's so uncool. But I did bow to pressure, I admit, because the temple's empty most of the time. But we will have such events because I love it when I see those family coming to DTT and coming to WMT and go for us and do the lion dance, and the children, the eyes lit up and they enjoy themselves. Hey man, that's the Buddha Dharma right there. Can you see? Okay? Yeah. Thank you for bringing up that point, but it's don't worry about it. That's all we got. Okay? We have to embrace them. That's my attitude. Yeah, if they, I feel sorry. I went to this temple in San Jose and I see the head nun there and her partner and her colleague standing there and making egg rolls and cooking. And I see them and say, that's why you are second stage Arhat. Because it's hard, man. You guys don't know. When you have no skills, you don't speak English. Huh? And how are you going to pay for your mortgage? So you sell food. Master Shenhua's people, our generation, we look down upon as, you have to sell food to make a living. It's so nasty. It's a lack of compassion, I see them and say, oh my God, you're suffering. You stand there, when you get about 60 years old, 70 years old, you cannot stand like that anymore. It's very hard in your legs and your body. And if, like I have a friend who's Indian in college, and her mother, she's a great cook. And she looks like your mother, Murali. And she would stand all day cooking for the family. And towards the end, they say, my knees are hurting, my hips are hurting, my back is hurting, and so forth. It's amazing to me the kinds of sacrifices that these great women did to raise a family. And the same with that nun there. I said, wow, it's so fascinating. You're doing it wrong, but let me buy something from you. He says, no, I'll give it to you free. I said, no. I can't take money from you. Can I make an offering to you? He says, no, don't have to make offering. So we snuck to the Buddha hall, slip in money. Okay? So San Jose person, I want you to learn to embrace people instead of judging your Vietnam compatriots, like Republicans do. I'm going to bring, since I became Republican recently. I was Republican when I went to go to college, and then became a monk. I went to Democrat. Now I'm back to Republican, okay? Because I want to have a new Republican thing. With compassion. Yes, Evan.
Thank you, Master. How do I contemplate my affliction and discriminatory minds doing this chanchi or doing sitting?
Very simple. When you're afflicted, don't quit. Follow the schedule. Just sit. When you have the urge to get out and run away and go beat the floor or whatever, I don't care. Just stay there and endure it. And when it ding, then you unbuckle, go to the bathroom, scream, whatever, and you come back and then do it again, and do it again, and do it again. That's it. And someday you understand. And you rise above your affliction. Okay? Stop blaming others. Okay? If you're afflicted, it's your fault. no one else's. Okay? Whether it's guilt, I feel guilty that I'm not spending time with my beloved husband and children and so forth. Screw that. It's an affliction. Or he drives me up the wall. It's not his fault. You're the one who is afflicted. It's your fault. That's all. And this is an opportunity for you to just sit there and sit there and sit there, and you don't have to do anything until it dies. That's it. No rhyme or reason. Just endure it until you no longer are afflicted. That's when you have wisdom. Your wisdom will come to the fore. Because if you find reasons to explain it, okay, it's not going to happen. You have to endure it. And cross your legs. And cross your legs. If it keeps on coming back, listen, you're like this for many, many lifetimes. It's not going to go away that quickly. But unless you change your approach on how to cope with it, you will not get out of it. All right? And you do it long enough, then you might deserve some help. You don't do it long enough, good luck to you. That's 3.
Oh, thank you, Master. I was just curious on that statement that Master YongHua made to the higher level beings. Does the Dharma talk ever address the needs of the Dharma protectors that are at the talk?
No. Not at the level of details that I talked about. Because for me, I want you to know that a lot of these, we are shielded. You are shielded from a lot of things. And I learned it the hard way. And I realized that I got to be more humble. We're not as strong as we think we are. People in the world who say, I have education, I have money, I have power, I have influence and so forth. My parents can take care of me and so forth. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything when you cross your legs. You only have yourself. Okay? And unless you're helpless, unless you don't realize that process there, unless you receive help, which I found help, luckily for me, and someone has to be better than you before they can help you, that's how I escaped. And my peers, they have the luxury of having Master YongHua's protection. That's why they never learned. And those who left really amounted to beans. They have to resort to trickery and compromise themselves to survive. It's very tough. It's not easy, folks. That's why, unless we make sacrifices and do these things, you will not be able to develop your wisdom. And that's why Buddhism dies slowly from generation to generation. And the reason I spend more time and give you more details is to help the rest of you, not just monks and nuns, but also lay people. I can't stress enough how lucky I have been the last 20 years to get support from people who put up with my temper, who put up with my many, many shortcomings, and they found something worthwhile to do. And we actually turn more people away than encourage people to come. Go Forest.
마스터께서
Never mind.
예전에
You know, time is up. Why do you keep on asking? Can you wait till tomorrow?
죄송합니다. I'm so sorry, Master.
I'm going to have a talk with your mom. Okay, enough talk. Go back to work. Thank you, everyone.